Barry Trammell, and I saw Cam Newton had a great game against Georgia. Threw for 150 yards, ran for 150 yards. The Auburns score 49 points and win in a rout going away. And Cam Newton hurt his Heisman Trophy candidacy.
Well, it's a mess with Cam Newton. Nothing is what you think it is with him. From the Opubco Studios in Oklahoma City, you're watching the Press Row. I'm Jenny Carlson. Barry, I got some stats right here in front of me. 12 for 15, 148 yards, 2 touchdowns, 30 rushes, 151 yards. I mean, those are some decent stats, but this guy right now is the center of one of the biggest controversies we've seen in college football in quite a while.
Well, the telling image of Saturday's college football to me across the nation was post-game there at Auburn. Cam Newton runs over and celebrates with the crowd and he leads the band and does all kinds of things. I got a word for Cam Newton that he might want to adopt here in the next few weeks if he wants to win some votes. That word is shame. He seems to know no shame. This guy's at the center of a firestorm. Who knows how it will turn out, but whatever, we know it's sordid to some degree, and yet he's acting like he's the wronged individual. His coach, Gene Chizik, helping him to no degree at all either in that regard. To me, Cam Newton is daring people not to vote for him. I think he's going to win some people over that way. I think a lot of people are going to decide not to vote for him.
Well, I do think there will be some people that don't vote for him for the Heisman. I think he's one of the probably 2 or 3 guys you could say for certain are among the best players in the country. I think statistically what he's done for Auburn, you look at all those factors. To me, it's hard to leave him off the ballot when you're talking about those things sort of in a vacuum. But clearly, Cam Newton is not operating in a vacuum anymore. We see obviously that there's a lot of other outside factors that we're not going to have the answer to, I suspect, when it comes time to put in those Heisman ballots. And at this point, Barry, the question was, would Auburn play him in this game? And at this point, what does it matter? If he's found ineligible, Auburn, what's the difference between giving up 10 wins and giving up 12 or 13? I mean, at this point, it's all on the table. They got to play him, but does that mean Heisman voters have to vote for him? No, it absolutely does not.
No, you're exactly right. The cows are out of the barn. You might as well play him if you're Auburn. It's just a horrible, sordid story. And I think what we're seeing with Auburn is the sort of the new age. We saw this is the result of what happened when the Heisman Trust decided, hey, let's open this up to scrutinize eligibility and NCAA violations and those things. People don't want to vote for a guy who might found to be ill-gotten gains in a year or two. So I think Cam Newton's going to have a tough time winning the Heisman Trophy. I don't think he's going to win it. I think it's going to go to Michael James or Kellen Moore up at Boise. I just don't think Cam Newton is going to win it. And his deportment, his actions after that game, celebrating almost in defiance of the critics, I think is going to turn off even more people.
Well, and I think people may ask, is Cam Newton suffering because of Reggie Bush? Yes, he absolutely is. The fact that we're only a couple months removed from Reggie Bush having that Heisman stripped, it absolutely impacts Cam Newton. And, is that fair? Is that right? It is what it is, and whether you think that that's fair, that he's being in some ways blamed, Reggie Bush for what happened with him, that's just the way it is. And I think voters are going to take that into consideration when they vote on that Heisman. We don't have to have ballots in until December 6th, so there's time for some things to shake out. Maybe we'll know more. Maybe there'll be, a record will be cleaned, or maybe a record will know more fully just how bad things were for Cam Newton. But I'm not banking on that, Barry. The longer this goes, the more gray area I think there's going to be with Cam Newton. And I don't know what I'm going to do yet, and I think there are a lot of voters that are in wait-and-see mode right now when it comes to Cam Newton. Hey, stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Open.